Disney cruises are one of my favorite vacations, but they are really, really expensive. So, how can you get the best price on your Disney Cruise Line vacation? I'm here to tell you. Hello everyone, I'm Heather and this is Heather Travels. Thank you for joining me today for this video about how to get the best price on your Disney Cruise Line cruise. So, Disney Cruise Line does not have sales like a lot of the other cruise lines do. So, like for example, Royal Caribbean has their WOW sales or their kids sail free. Occasionally they'll have like lowered deposits, things like that. A lot of the cruise lines do, but Disney does not. Disney Cruise Line does not offer sales, and they're already considerably more expensive than most of the other cruise lines that you might be considering for you or you and your spouse or your family or whoever's going. So I definitely think that Disney Cruise Line is worth it. There's a lot of things that to me set Disney Cruise Line above the other cruise lines, but because that price is so high, how can you get the best price possible for your cruise? Okay, I'm here to tell you the 3 easiest main ways that you can get the best deal on your cruise. Okay, number 1 is to book as soon as the cruise dates are released. There is not an advantage with Disney Cruise Line to booking last minute. Maybe they'll have a few guaranteed rooms left at the end, but usually Disney Cruise Line cruises pretty much fill to capacity or sell out. So if you want to go on a Disney cruise, you need to be looking a year or more in advance. And as soon as those dates are released, book that cruise, because the price is never going to be lower as it is when it is first released. As it gets closer to the cruise date, the price is going to gradually increase. So if you can, if you're able to plan that far in advance, like I'm a little bummed because I kind of want to book a Disney cruise for fall, like the end of the year, November or December of 2020. And those dates have already been released. So I already missed that window of being able to book that cruise right away because I don't have the money for the deposit right now. So I might have to bump it ahead a little bit and go into 2021. But the number 1 way to get the lowest price on your Disney cruise is to book as soon as the cruise dates are released. Okay, number 2 tip is to be flexible with your dates. If you look at Disney Cruise Line's website, now I will show you that in a little bit here. If you look at Disney Cruise Line's website, the exact same cruise on, let's take a 4-night Bahamas cruise on Disney Dream. If you go on that exact same cruise, exact same ship, exact same itinerary, exact same stateroom category, but you go on it in January or September versus July or spring break, the price difference is huge. There is enormous variation in the prices of the same Disney cruise depending on when you go in the year. So the second tip I have for you on how to save money on a Disney cruise is to pick a time of year when the price is lower. So if you can pick one of those times of year when the price is less than it would be, and of course, just like everything else, the cheaper times to go are when the kids are in school. So either you've got to take your kids out of school or maybe you're going without kids. Yay! And trust me, Disney Cruise Lines are awesome for adults too. I probably like them just as much, if not more, as my kids do. And I didn't even get to go on my first Disney cruise until I was like 28 years old. So, well, they didn't really exist before that. But anyway, so the second tip is to be flexible with your dates. Look for, if you have a cruise in mind, look for the cheapest time to go. Now, some of the itineraries are only offered at certain times of year. What do I mean by that? For example, there's only Alaska cruises in the summer. There's only Europe cruises in the summer. They only go out of New York City and do like Canada and down to Bermuda and stuff in the fall. So But even within that, you should be able to compare the different dates for those same kind of cruises and find one that's less expensive than the other. So if you can be flexible with your dates, that's going to help you a lot. The third tip I have for you before I switch over to the computer and show you some things on different websites is consider a less expensive stateroom category. You're really going to save money if you don't have to have a suite or a balcony. Balconies are awesome. If I could afford it, I would always get a balcony. But I have stayed in an inside stateroom, an ocean view stateroom, you know, with a window with a porthole, and a balcony cabin on Disney Cruise Lines. I've been in all three, and they were all very, very, very nice. There is no bad Disney Cruise Line stateroom. They're all very spacious. They're all beautifully decorated. They're all very nice. They have tons of storage. There's plenty of space for your family. The bed configurations are better than on other cruise lines because there's more options for, you know, some of the ocean view staterooms even sleep 5. There's the queen bed, 2 bunks, and then another Murphy bed that pulls out of the wall. So even if you have 3 kids, you can all fit in one room. And the other advantage to Disney Cruise Line staterooms, except for the standard inside stateroom, which is the lowest priced category, and we've even stayed in that one and we were totally fine. Every single stateroom on a Disney Cruise Line has a split bathroom. So you're basically getting 2 bathrooms in one. One of the bathrooms has a sink and the shower and tub. They usually have tubs, which is rare on cruise lines. And the other one has the toilet and a sink. So somebody could be taking a shower and somebody can be, you know, using the regular bathroom at the same time, which is really convenient when you have a family. So those are the 3 overall tips I would give you since Disney Cruise Line does not have sales. One is to book your cruise as soon as the itinerary dates are released for the cruise you want to go on. Secondly is to be flexible with your dates and choose a week of the year that is less expensive. And thirdly is to consider a less expensive stateroom category. So whether that means moving down from a suite to just a regular balcony, or moving down from a balcony to an ocean view, or moving down from an ocean view to an inside, you're always going to spend less money if you go in a lower category stateroom. They're still very spacious, very nice. You're still going to be very happy and have a great cruise experience. Our stateroom attendant on our last Disney cruise on the Disney Wonder in 2017 made a very good point. He said going with an inside stateroom can be a really good way to afford a more expensive cruise that you wouldn't be able to afford otherwise. For example, I would really like to do a Northern European cruise, either like the British Isles or the Norwegian fjords or the Baltic Sea or something, and I'd love to do it on Disney, but I'll probably never be able to afford that with a balcony cabin. But what do I need a balcony cabin for? If I'm going to be out enjoying the amenities on the ship and getting off in ports, I'm only going to be using my cabin for sleeping and changing my clothes anyway. So I might as well save money and get an inside stateroom. So I thought that was a really good point, that if there's a cruise that you really want to do, but you can't quite afford it if you get that nicer stateroom, get the less expensive one and then maybe you can make it. So now let's look at a few things on different websites that might also be helpful to you in getting a good deal on your Disney cruise. Okay, I'm here with Captain Duffy from Disney Cruise Line, and he and I are going to show you a few things on different websites to also help you find the best deal on your Disney cruise, and also kind of some basics on how to book a Disney cruise if you want to go ahead and do it on your own without the help of a travel agent. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you here is I want to show you this email that I got. I actually got this on July 31st from the Disney Cruise Line blog. The Disney Cruise Line blog sends out regular emails. They're not every day, but they're pretty frequent. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to sign up for those. But they have all sorts of information on them. And the one that I wanted to show you here, this one was particularly of interest to me because it shows that Disney Cruise Line announces 3 additional Disney Dream sailings for early October and early November 2020. So this was kind of breaking news. It said Disney Cruise Line quietly added 3 new sailings for the Disney Dream in late 2020. You can see that right here. It was a previous 6-week void in the schedule with a 3-night Bahamas cruise on October 2nd and then November 1. So for some reason there was nothing on the calendar for the Disney Dream during this time, and they added these sailings later. So they're kind of announcing this. Now, Another thing I want you to notice here is this little jack-o'-lantern symbol next to this date. That means that that cruise is a Halloween themed cruise. I can't remember exactly what they call it. And I'm going to show you a little later. There's other ones. And so these are the new, it shows the map. It gives you the itinerary. It goes to Port Canaveral, Nassau, Castaway Cay. It departs on October 2nd, 2020. It's a Halloween cruise. And then this is the base price for an inside stateroom, an ocean view stateroom, a veranda stateroom, and a concierge stateroom. That's for one person. So, and then you can kind of see, here's another one that was released on November 1st. It's a 7-night Eastern on the Dream, which is really unusual. Usually the Dream only does 3, 4, and 5-night Bahamas cruises. So that's really unusual. Man, I might want to look at that. That's not a bad price either. So, okay. And then this little Christmas tree symbol next to this date right here, that indicates that this is a very maritime cruise. A very maritime cruise is similar to the Halloween themed cruises. The Halloween themed cruises like these, everything's all decked out for Halloween and fall, and the characters will be like in their Halloween costumes, and you can be in your Halloween costumes, and I think they have trick-or-treating. If it's a very maritime cruise, the whole ship is decorated for Christmas, and the characters are going to be in their Christmas outfits, and I think there's even like Santa and Mrs. Claus, and there's going to be Christmas kind of activities. So anytime you see that little Christmas tree, you're going to know that's a very maritime cruise. Okay, some of the other things that'll be in these emails, because there's usually more than one thing, they'll share personal navigators from a recent cruise. This particular one was the July 26th sailing of the Disney Dream 3-night Bahama cruise from Port Canaveral. It shows the map. It shows what the menus were, and you can click on these links and it will actually open up the menu that you can actually look at. So there's the menu right there. Okay, so going back to that email, and then it shows you where they were every day, what the show was in the main theater, in the Walt Disney Theater, what the movies were in the Buena Vista Theater on that particular sailing. This is a note that Disney Fantasy's November 9th, 2020 cruise itinerary has been altered. And they usually will show you an email. See, they kind of shaded out the identifying information of the guest, but it shows you this little note that this person got saying that their itinerary order has been changed. And then another one with the what happened on that sailing, so you can kind of see what the shows were and the dinner was every night. And here's some information about visas. So there's a lot of really good information in these emails from Disney Cruise Blog. Okay, this is Disney Cruise Line Blog's website. This is actually run by a guy named Scott and his wife Emily, their daughter Isabella. They share a lot of their own. They live in Florida and they go on a lot of Disney cruises, and they actually share a lot of photos and information from their own cruises. There's a lot of information on here. The first thing that I want to show you is right here, where you can join our email list to receive updates in your inbox. So if you put your email in here and click subscribe, you will get emails just like the one I just showed you. There's lots of other information. This little thing over here shows you, you can see port webcams if you click that link, and it shows you where each of the currently four Disney Cruise Line ships are today. So today, this is on August 5th, I'm recording this. The Magic is in St. Petersburg in Russia because the Magic is in Europe in the summer. The Wonder is in Vancouver. And it says it's an alternate port, so something changed there. The Dream is in Port Canaveral, and the Fantasy is at sea. You can find your cruise over here. You can learn more information about the ships. And you notice they've already got the 3 new ships listed on here, even though we don't know their names yet. You can look at deck plans. There's all information about cruise planning. They have a podcast. This is where all those trip reports that I showed you in the email would be. This is different itineraries. You can look at all the menus. They have all sorts of photography on here. There's a store, the weather, videos, etc. So this is a really great website that you can learn a lot about Disney Cruise Line. and where you can sign up to get those emails where you can possibly get discounts. Now, one of the things that it did not show you, I will talk about in a little bit. Okay, this is the official Disney Cruise Line website. This is where you would go to learn even more information about Disney cruises, you know, browse itineraries, you know, learn all you want about. I do have a Chase Disney Visa. Chase Disney Visa is nice. It gives you some benefits, like for every dollar you spend, you're actually earning points that you can then get in the form of a Disney gift card. I always have a Disney gift card that I've earned with my points from my Chase Disney Visa, which I use to buy souvenirs when we go on Disney vacations. So that's our souvenir money. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by the difference in price depending on the time of year. Okay, so I've got my three guests in one stateroom. I've got me, one adult, and 2 kids. We're going to say it's after their next birthday, so Megan's 16 and Ben's 12. We want to go, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to pick 2 dates. I'm going to pick January and June, okay? And I'm going to pick the Bahamas because they go to the Bahamas year round, okay? So, click Find Prices. Let's just take this, well, let's take a 4-night. That's the magic. Let's take a 4-night on the Dream from Port Canaveral. Okay, so that's what these are going to be. So, a 4-night on the Dreams, you can see these are all Disney Dream. The different prices for the 3 of us. So if we go, the lowest price one is this one. If we go January 27th through the 31st of 2020, and we want a balcony, it's going to cost us $3,005. Not bad. If we want the exact same cruise, I'll look down here a second. Exact same cruise on June 8th, right after school gets out. So yay, school's out, let's go on a cruise. Exact same cruise, same itinerary, same stateroom, same everything. Same room, $49.75. So that's a difference of almost $2,000 just because of the date. So that's what I mean. You really want to be flexible with your dates because the exact same stateroom, the exact same cruise, the exact same itinerary, the exact same ship, the price is going to fluctuate enormously depending on when you go. So that's it, folks. That's my advice on how to get the best price on your Disney cruise. Disney cruises are awesome and you should totally go on one. And hopefully these tips and suggestions have helped you figure out how you can get the best price on your Disney cruise. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to have more information about travel, Disney, cruises, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything on my channel. I've got more how-to videos coming up. And for now, Captain Duffy and I would like to say goodbye. Thanks everyone for joining us today and safe travels.